I have a special message before I begin this review. I have recently started a blog called Pigs from a Gun. It's named after lyrics from the Beatles' song I Am the Walrus, in case you're unfamiliar. On this blog, I plan to talk about sports, US politics, music, and of course, video games. I recently posted on this blog the script to this Mario Kart DS review, but before the article starts, I have a secret message at the top. If you click the link to the article in the description, and if you're the first person to copy what that secret message says into the comments section, you get a shout out in the next video. Anyway, on with this video. Hello everyone and welcome to my review of Mario Kart DS. I reviewed Mario Kart Wii, 8, and Double Dash, so I suppose it's only a matter of time before I reviewed one of the most acclaimed games in the entire Mario Kart series, which is Mario Kart DS. Mario Kart DS is one of my favorite games in this series. It has its flaws, but when you play the game, I think you'll find the good definitely outweighs the bad. Let's first look at the just who's on the character roster. It's sort of a minor thing for a Mario spin-off game, but I like to get it out of the way first. So when we look at the characters in Mario Kart DS, there's a bit of a downgrade from Double Dash. Only 12 characters compared to 20, that kind of sucks. Okay, I know it's technically 13 with the downloadable Shy Guy, but whatever. Now, I feel like a big reason there was a drop in characters was due to the DS not being as powerful as the GameCube, so I guess I'll forgive it a little bit in some regard. But the starting drivers, they're your typical suspects. It's the 8 guys who have been in every Mario Kart game, or almost every Mario Kart game. You know the 8 guys I'm talking about. But then for the unlockable ones, there's Daisy, Dry Bones, Waluigi, and Rob the Robot. Okay, interesting choice. They could have added someone a little more related to the Mario series, but at least it looks really freaking cool whenever Rob is drifting. And you know what? As long as Waluigi's here, I can't nitpick the roster that much, It gets a solid B+ from me. Now, let's talk about one of the most important things in a Mario Kart game, the tracks. Well, with Mario Kart DS, this game is very top-heavy in terms of tracks. Top-heavy is something used as a term for a sports team, where there's some star players leading the team, but not a lot behind those guys. So that's kind of what I'm getting at here when it comes to Mario Kart DS. This game truly has some elite tracks, but about half of the tracks in this game are anywhere from mediocre to garbage. Pretty much most of the mushroom, banana, and shell cups are complete throwaways, which is a shame. But like I said, the top tier of the tracks in this game is almost as good as Mario Kart Wii in my opinion, and that's saying something. Waluigi Pinball, Delfino Square, Tick-Tock Clock, and Airship Fortress are some tracks that will forever live on in Mario Kart lore. There's even some underrated gems behind those, like Shroom Ridge and DK Pass. The retro tracks are also top-heavy, but unfortunately the top isn't nearly as good or has as many tracks as the nitro tracks. Still, Choco Mountain, Banshee Boardwalk, Sky Garden, they're all pretty awesome. But there's a big drop-off from there, at least in my opinion. And so the tracks will get a B+ from me. There's about 12 great to legendary tracks, but the drop-off, like I said, kinda unfortunate. So now that we've been on the topic of tracks, let's shift gears to the music for said tracks, and just the soundtrack in general, and also sound effects. The music for Mario Kart DS is freaking bumping. Oftentimes, a lot of the mediocre or bad tracks in this game are at least sorta saved by really catchy music. Mario Circuit, not the best track. Figure 8 Circuit, horrible track. But at least they have semi-decent song that goes along with it. The sound effects in this game, they're kind of funny, and for that reason, they don't really get annoying or old. You just gotta love Mario saying, "Dig-a-ding," or Waluigi saying, "Wah-ha-ha-wah." Now, not all the music in this game is great. To me, the Rainbow Road music is kind of disappointing if you compare it to like the other Rainbow Road soundtracks, and the same could be said for Bowser's Castle. Also, the music for the battle tracks is the same for each one, which is kinda stupid, but at least the battle track music is really catchy. In any case, the generally upbeat and vibrant soundtrack is a huge part of what makes this game so great, so it gets an A- from me. Now, let's talk about controls, and boy do the controls in Mario Kart DS feel great, and that's mostly due to snaking. You can make turns quickly and efficiently, which gets you mini turbos quickly and efficiently. Mario Kart Double Dash had some pretty great controls, but the boosts you'd get after drifting weren't particularly fast. That changed here in the DS game. And if we compare it with future Mario Kart games, like Mario Kart Wii's controls, not nearly as good, I'll admit it. And while the controls in Mario Kart 7 and 8 are kind of similar to the DS one, it just doesn't have that snake to it, if you get what I'm saying. Racing in Mario Kart DS feels fun and comfortable, and it's largely thanks to those amazing controls. I gotta give it an A+. Okay, well now we get to talk about game modes. We're all familiar with the Grand Prix, the time trials, and the verses, so let's talk a bit about the battle stages. Like I said before, the same exact music for every track is kind of disappointing, even if the music is really catchy. But Nintendo brought back N64 Block Fort and GCN Pipe Plaza, two really good battle maps. Also a battle map that's right on top of a Nintendo DS. Now that's what I'm talking about. I'm still waiting for Nintendo to do that kind of battle map again. I just really like it for some reason. The other three battle maps aren't nearly as good, especially Twilight House. I don't like it. But overall, pretty good. There's two modes in the battle mode, the Timeless Balloon Battle and also Shine Runners. It's a unique take on the Shine Thief mode from Double Dash and of course returning in Mario Kart Deluxe, but it's not quite as fun in my opinion. There's actually multiple shines in this mode, which isn't as interesting as chasing down the guy with the one shine. At least that's how I feel. There was also online mode, which was revolutionary for the time considering it was the first Nintendo game to go online. So you gotta give Mario Kart DS some props for that. But now we gotta talk about everyone's favorite part about Mario Kart DS. Frickin' Mission Mode. Bring it back, Nintendo. Mission Mode is a single player mode that Mario Kart diehards should love because guess what? It's single player. You don't always have to have someone to make it fun. Yay! You get to challenge yourself with neat little missions like collecting coins, driving through gates, and racing bots. Each mission set has a boss battle, and once you get to the menu screen and the boss battle shows up, the music becomes intense. A siren goes off and you begin to hear that boss make its boss noises. Now that is cool and it gets you pumped for a boss battle. Mission mode has solid difficulty, it's solid fun for a single player, you just gotta love it. Because this is the only Mario Kart game to have mission mode, and it's the first Mario Kart game to allow for single player battle, I gotta give the game modes an A+, seriously. Now let's talk a bit about items. A lot of your typical Mario Kart items return, but the special items from Double Dash don't. Well, the Bob-omb returns, but anyone can use it now. Also, the Boo is back. Yay! And it was back again in Mario Kart Deluxe, but whatever. But the two brand new items are quite possibly the best and the worst item in Mario Kart history. Let's start with the good one. Now, say what you want about the bullet bill, say, oh, it's not as good as the chain chomp, oh, it's cheap, whatever. But if you're having a bad race for any reason, it's this item that you want to help you catch up. You don't want the star, you don't want the triple mushroom, you don't want the golden mushroom, you want the bullet friggin' bill. Unfortunately, one of the worst items was also introduced. It is the blooper. I think you've heard me and every other Mario Kart YouTuber rant about this squid long enough, so I'll keep it short. This item sucks. But overall, the item system in this game is relatively well balanced, and there isn't too many clunker items like the blooper. So I'm going to give the items a B+. Finally, let's get to the graphics from Mario Kart DS. For the system it's on, Mario Kart DS's graphics are not bad. As vibrant and exciting as the music is, the graphics really aren't too far behind. Sure, they're kind of lackluster on a lot of the retro tracks, but what do you want? A lot of them are freaking circuit tracks anyway. The graphics truly shine on some of those top tier tracks that I mentioned, like Waluigi Pinball, Airship Fortress, Delfino Square, etc. And while I wasn't a huge fan of the music for Rainbow Road, I gotta admit, the graphics for that track are quite beautiful. So overall, I'll give them an A-. A lot of it doesn't wow you, but we gotta keep in mind this is a DS game, and for that, the graphics ain't too bad. So, now let's get to the verdict. Mario Kart DS is a game with great controls, great depth in terms of game modes, and an incredibly catchy soundtrack. Its biggest flaw is that the tracks themselves are too top-heavy. Yes, they introduced retro tracks, but we have to keep in mind that a lot of them sucked. Of course, this game had some great tracks, but would I say Double Dash and Mario Kart 7 probably had better tracks overall? I would. But would I also say that Mario Kart DS is a better game overall than both of those? Again, I probably would. And for that, I give this game a 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.